appointment again. We're going to dive back in. We're kind of at a weird spot where there's a few rooms I've seen and haven't built, so there may be information in there. But there's a lot of things that we have kind of clues to, but the clues are starting to peter out. The new information's starting to dwindle. And we really just need good RNG to get to the next step, whatever that might be. We're also on day 25, which is, what, November 31st? Or I can't remember. Is there a 31st of November? 30 days have... I don't remember the nursery rhyme either. I can't tell if we've crossed over into December yet or not, and what that means for the mansion in the game. But let's dive into day 25 here. Let's see what we can do. So the fountain is still open if we can get our hands on the basement key. That's something. That's some progress. We've got our steps, our keys, our gems to start with. So we are better off than when we started. We've made some improvements to the way things are working, but we still don't have enough control over the layout of the house. All right, let's make our way to the outer room and see what we're going to draft today. We've lost access to the secret garden. Even if I draft it again, I would have to get the key as well. So there's a lot of... There's very little hope that we're going to be able to do what we want to do today. We're just going to have to see what we get given. And we'll start here. All right, so root cellar for digging, hovel for floor plans. Hovel's not bad. Root cellar with dig spots would be okay if we could get our hands on the shovel. I rarely build this because there's no way to guarantee we get the cellar, or the shovel rather. But maybe we save our money and hope for the commissary with the shovel in it. But all this does is give me keys, coins, and gems. It doesn't really help me solve... It doesn't really help me, like, achieve an objective. Whereas picking up two... Like, none of these are super great. Hovel is decent, because it lets me avoid the need for gems. But maybe two special items is the better way to start here. We'll go tool shed here. All right, so we get the sledgehammer... And we get the metal detector. Those are both nice. Greater chance of finding keys and coins, and any dirt that we do find we'll be able to... any boxes we find we'll be able to smash open. Plus it removes them from the pool of items we might find, so there's other things that we could find, like the shovel or... You know, one of the special keys. Another thing I'd like to try to do is to build the Cloister of Draxus. So... Yeah, gain 4 dice for each dead-end room that you will draft from this cloister. I'd like to try this with the shelter to see how it works. But ideally, I'd like to get this built early to give me the dice to mess around with. So I think I want to go up the middle until we get to the foundation, and then I want to go up this route and try to build the Cloister of Draxus in one of these squares, so that we can get all 12 dice, and then whatever gets locked off, we can retreat back to the entrance hall and start making our way up the west wing to try to reach the antechamber. So I think, unusually, we're going to start by heading north here today. All right, so... We have nothing in the coat check, and I don't want the dead end here. If I take pantry, we can make our way west and try and connect to the foundation here. Plus we get some more coins. Spare bedroom takes us north. All right, let's... Here we can maybe connect directly to the foundation. All right, let's go spare bedroom. Looks like we do get a nice little pickup in the shape of some keys or coins here. All right. So we'd like to connect to the foundation if possible. North and east both would be excellent. Looks like we're going to go parlor here. Yeah. Okay. All right, so parlor, there's the wind-up key. Metal detector's not going off. We don't have anything extra. Let's start with the puzzle. The gems are in a box with a false statement. Hey, Gorilla Wolf. Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, it was pretty rough. I was pretty disappointed, but we're back at it. The gems are in a box with a false statement. Okay, so if that's true, This has to be false. And this is true. So that's possible. True, false, true. That would put the gems in here. So if this is false, that's true. And this is false. Hold on. So if this is false, the gems are in a box with a false domain, then the gems have to be in the true box. This would be true. Blue box is false. And that would be false because this is true. That puts the gems in the white box. If this is true, then this is false. And that's true, which means regardless, they have to be in the white box. All right. Okay. Into the foundation we go. We're going to keep heading north now along this column as much as we can and try to build the Cloister of Draxus to get our hands on all those tasty dice. Let's see if that can work. All right. Boiler room gets us a power source. Courtyard goes north the way I want it to. We can draft this again later. I think we'll go north instead here. We've got, oh, there's the shovel. Okay, that's a nice pickup. So we got a good amount of tools now for getting items, keys and coins and whatnot. We've got the sledgehammer and we've got the metal detector. We've got the shovel. So we should have a decent amount of stuff that we can pick up. All right. I'd like to get that Cloister of Draxus. Let's keep heading north here. All right, we're not going to get it. Boiler room keeps us heading north, and potentially we can build something here if we get those dice, like the laboratory, because it does have an east connection. All right, we'll go boiler room here. May I express an observation, or should I refrain from sharing brainstorms? It's not something to prove myself, just a thought. If you haven't, if it's not a spoiler, if it's just a guess, feel free. If you don't know for sure, feel free. Okay, now as I recall, yeah, we need one more thing turned on. Let's see. So I want to open this first, I think, and then worry about the power in here. All right, Cloister of Draxus, come on. No. We get a corridor. It's always unlocked. This high, this many ranks in. I'll take that. I'll take the corridor. Okay, with that open, is it just a matter of doing this? Yeah, it is. Okay. So let's activate the power here. And it's currently heading out the one door where it could be useful, so that's fine. We'll leave that as is. All right. Okay, nice little piece of change there. So we'd really like to get the Cloister of Draxus here. If we get it here, we're blocking off 2 antechambers, which sort of defeats the purpose. I don't know what our chances are, but let's see. All right. Passageway seems pretty solid. I think the map may be a condensed version of a chessboard. The pawns are always in column B, D, it seems, and rooks are in the corners, but may have been disproved. Okay. Passageway is pretty decent here. It costs our last 2 gems, though. I don't want the dead end. I think passageway this far north is good. And then, if I build Draxus here, I get 8 dice. If I build it here, I get 12, but block off, I get 3 dead ends. Building it here, yeah. I'd rather build it here and get 8, if we can. I think we're going to build all the passageway doors here. I don't have a key, though, so if these are locked, we're not going to build anything. Okay, that's locked. That's locked. What about you? Okay. Ballroom would be nice, but we can't afford it. Weight room with 3 passageways is nice. That's gonna eat half our... That's gonna eat half our steps for the day. If I go storeroom here, we can pick up the items. It is a dead end. We have 2 more exits here, exit here, exit here, exit here. The boiler room is our... No, the entrance hall, we have the exit as well. Going down to 20 something steps right now seems like a bad play. We don't have the salt shaker, we don't have the nursery, we don't have the sleep mask, so building this for the exits would be fine, except that might just run us completely out of steps. Well, it has north and south and west. And we're gonna have to backtrack anyway. All right, let's risk it. Maybe this day's a no-go. Maybe this day just sucks. All right, so to get north, we'll either need to turn off the power or find the key card. Let's go west then. That's locked. South? Okay. All right, commissary would be a dead end, but I might get a good item in here that we need. There might be some... Oh, I can't build it. I don't have any gems. I don't want to build the archives because that'll kill the rest of the run. Dark room. We could trip it and come back after we fix it if we build the breaker. I think that's the play here. Let's trip the breaker. Let's leave. And let's start our backtracking. So those are both locked. We don't want to build out of the boiler room without at least some dice, I think. So I think we're going back to the courtyard now. Yeah. So we need keys and we need gems right now. All right, let's see what we can make happen here. All right, pantry heads south, chapel heads north and south. Library heads north. We have an exit to the south from the foundation and from the entrance hall. So I think we go library here, and if we draft the bookshop, we can see what that's about. Otherwise, we get something uncommon maybe. We're running low. We're running real low on steps now. We can also request another book, and it looks like The metal detector's picking something up. I probably would have missed it if it weren't for the metal detector. There it is, the coin. All right. All right, so we've read everything except Sightseer's Guide and the Fixed Stars. Let's just go Fixed Stars, and we'll get the Sightseer's Guide another time. Here we can see whether or not we can draft the bookshop. That's locked. Okay. Unless we get some keys, we're in trouble. So now we're going back to the Foundation. Yeah, this day may be shot with the lack of steps. Building the gymnasium might have been a mistake. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Okay, nursery would help us. I can't build it. I have no gems. So we're gonna go Nook here for the exit and the key. There's a spare coin that I noticed even without help. We can smash this open with the thing. There's some dice. That's not bad. Okay. What else have we got? We can go south here. All right. Patio gets... I can't build the patio. All right. Do I want to build the chapel here? I don't really mind giving up gold. This is a dead end, but we have the entrance hall. I think maybe I'll just take the items here. There's another dice and a gem. Okay, that's not bad. So it's back to the entrance hall now to fill in some of these other ranks and start making our way up the east wing or the west wing. Dirt in the courtyard? I think I dug it already. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I dug that already. There is dirt in the foundation, though. Or there should be, yeah. That's a good reminder. Some coins. Okay, we're plenty rich on coins. I need keys, gems, and steps. So getting, like, the kitchen or something to buy food would be good. Yeah, I'm not sure this day is going to work out. Okay, Den is pretty nice. We know we need to turn security doors off at some point. Now, somebody said, like, the rooms that conduct power have a white outline, but this doesn't. Maybe if you're in a room that's a power source, you see the white outline, but I'm not sure. I think we gotta go security here to turn off the key card stuff. It would also depend on us getting the breaker room. And we're so low on steps that we might not even be able to get back there. But the weight room has an exit north with a locked security door. So, like, if we somehow pull this run out of the fire, having security built would be pretty good. Let's see. All right. Let's change offline mode to unlocked. And then we'll set the security level to low for now. If we're able to get the breaker built and can turn off power to the doors, we can come back to that. All right. So we got 2 dead ends here that we can build. Let's see if we get anything good. We don't want the furnace. I could build the laundry room here and turn some of my coins into gems or keys. The lab needs power, so I don't want to build that here. I'd rather build that off the boiler room. Yeah, I don't have a gem. I don't want the furnace. Oh, this is rough, man. I think this run is dead. No reason to go in there. Don't want that. Don't want that. Boy, that's rough. Yeah, I think this run is a dead end. I don't think we're gonna get much else out of this. All right. Pantry doesn't help me. Storeroom definitely doesn't help me. I can't build the observatory. I guess we have to go pantry here? Like, I want the gems, but then I only have 10 steps left, and I have to get to the boiler room. At least there's a chance for, like, a banana or something in here. Eke out a couple more steps. It's an apple, the lowest value, of course. All right. All right. Gymnasium, I guess. Gonna cost me 2 steps. The den is... Oh, the kitchen would be fantastic, but I can't. The den is nice here. At least we get 1 gem. What else? I should have been paying attention to some of these rooms for chess pieces and stuff, but I think we've seen most of the common rooms at this point. All right, what are we going to build here? Commissary? Oh, I could go coat check here and drop one of these items off for another day. Commissary might get me some food. I think the run is done. I don't think with 7 steps, like even if we get 8 pieces of food in here, I think we're better off dumping something into the coat check. So what's going to make the most sense? Sledgehammer is pretty low utility. Shovel's okay. Metal detector's okay. Shovel's a little bit better if we build the root cellar. I don't have anything checked right now, right? Yeah. All right. Metal detector is nice to combine with a lockpick, but I think we'll dump the shovel here, and we'll start prioritizing the root cellar and hoping we get the coat check and can use that to power a good run. All right, no steps left. The run's basically over. We'll just push through and see what we can make happen. Let's see. Storeroom for gems, sort of pointless, because it'll burn me 4 steps to get to the next exit. Pool, I have a better chance of drawing something useful to end the day, and like I guess the planetarium would be nice. Does the planetarium cost to build? I can't remember. You know what? Why don't I just burn these right now, trying to get the planetarium to call it a day, because this run is over. Yeah, no dice. Okay. I guess there's this. We could spend an hour messing around with this again. So we don't know these 2 letters. I guess this could be 2 words, or it could be 1 word that starts with I. Like, what would a word be that ends in W something? Like idiot, in window, and that doesn't work. If these are 2 separate words, then this is probably something like in, or if, or id. Id doesn't seem right. If. G-H-I-J-K-L-M. I'm, like I apostrophe M, N, in, P-Q-R-S, is. So if I'm in or is. It could be a T. VWXYZ doesn't work. And then this, if this is its own word, then the only one that makes sense is we. So if we count small gates, 8 dates, crack 8 safes, or in we count, or M doesn't make sense. It. How does this help me? If we count small gates, in we count small gates. Id. Im. It. I guess if makes sense if we count small gates. So would each room have with a safe in it have small gates in it somewhere? If we count small gates. Is this an if-then statement? If we count 8 small gates, if we can do this, then 8 dates crack 8 safes? What does the arrow at their feet mean? Pace, step, stride. I think it means that they can face left and right. Because this guy's facing left and has that symbol, and then there's like a little arrow that points left and a little arrow that points right on either side of the line. And then this guy's like facing the other direction. And he's got the same left-right length thing. Is there anything, are any of these, do any of these have anything to do with gates? Like, there's just pictures of people and animals. So there's nothing to do with gates in here. Crow and row, that just tells us the letter for the hint. The bidirectional indicator, yeah. You know what's interesting actually is that they're all the same, except, well, now that I look at it, this guy has a little teeny tiny one, and this one has a big one, and she has a little tiny one. Does that mean something? So what do we have? She has a small one. The pitcher has a big one, like this guy. So maybe it's something to do with the length of their stride. Maybe we count people with a big, long stride instead of the little itty-bitty ones. I've been thinking about left and right and male and female. But maybe it's something to do with the length of their stride. Because maybe she doesn't count because she's got this... Let me see. Where's some of these other ones? Like the horse has a big, long stride, a step. So does the pitcher. And the man with the... And then like this guy, the guy with the... Okay, so the guys with the... The guys using the umbrella as like a walking aid, a walking stick have, walking gait? Oh, like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe that's, well, no, because it's spelled G-A-T-E-S. Because gait, like this, your stride is G-A-I-T. But maybe that's something? Maybe it's something to do with their gait? So like small gates. So maybe it's something to do with people with small gates. But then how does this one work? Because there's only the one picture here. So is this a 0? Like this wall is 0 because there's nobody with small gates. And then over here we have the lady. She's got one. The little umbrella man up there would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Everyone else has the... Yeah, and a horse's stride is called a gait too, isn't it? Wait a minute. So like 0, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 0, 7. 0, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 7, 4. But 4 doesn't make sense because it's not part of a date. 0, 7, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 0, 7, 4, 8. No, that's not it. Gate is a step, small gate, small steps. Yeah, yeah. So 0, 7, 4, 8. Zero, 7, 4, 8. I don't see how you combine those to get a date. Like 0, 7 could be July, but then 4, 8 is not. 4, 8 is not a day of the month. If we go the other direction, 0, 8 could be August, but then it's 7, 4. That doesn't work either. Like there's no combination of those numbers that makes a date. 0, 7, 4, 8. Maybe... How else could I use those numbers? Like, if I add them all together, you get, what, 0, 7, 4. 7 and 4 is 11, plus 8 is 19. That could be like a day, but then what month is it? I don't know. I've been messing around with this for so long and I can't figure it out. I think I'm gonna just move on. Well, no, we're at the end of the... I have nothing left. I guess I can redraft here and hope I get the planetarium. No, there's the breaker box that I don't need anymore. What about this? Yeah, I never ever get what I want. I never get what I want. And it's not surprising. The size of the pool of items, there's like 60 rooms to draw from. That, like, you would need 20 dice to ever get the specific room you want. It's kind of obnoxious. I think we were onto something with small gates. Maybe the large gates are the month. And if you sum them up, the small gate, but then there's going to be more than 12. So, like, yeah, there's definitely more than 12 if I added them all up on each wall. What makes you place 0 first? The fact that when we open the safe, we start here, and this is so different from the other ones that it feels like it's important that this wall only has the one picture on it. Maybe, I don't know. If we count small gates, 8 dates crack 8 safes. I don't understand the if-then like structure of that clue. If we count, then 8 dates crack 8 safes. We've seen 2 dates work. We had December 25th for the boudoir, and we had March 3rd for the office. And then the shelter where we got one of these was like today's date. Like if there was a clue about which month to use, I guess it would be him. So Herbert died in November. So then, like, if I add up all the small gates, we get 19. So maybe 11, 19. Nope, that doesn't work. Let me make sure I counted correctly. So, small gates, if that's our clue, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I guess I could try the other months. So like 12, 19, 10, 19, 9, 19, 8, 19, 7, 19, 6, 19, 5, 19, 4, 19, 3, 19, February 19th, January 19th. Yeah, none of them work. So we're still not on the right track here. Does it have something to do with left and right? Does it have something to do with left and right? Maybe it's only... If we count 8. Oh, wait a minute. Was there one wall that had 8 on it? It was this wall had 8 on it, right? If we count 8 small dates, and the safe is on this wall. So hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This wall does have 8 small gates. So maybe this wall is more important. Maybe it's like... He's November, right? So maybe it's like 11, 8? 11, 8? No, that doesn't work. We can count 8 small gates here. Is there anything on this that tells us the month? So like, how many pictures are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe 10/08, October 8th? 10/08? No. If we count 8 small gates. I count 8 small gates on this wall. 8 dates, crack 8 safes. How does this wall give me a date? There's only the one picture on this wall that has 3 people in it. What about the large gates on this? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 large gates and 8 small gates. So maybe it's May 8th. 0508. No. 0406. Why would it be 0406? That doesn't make any sense to me. If we count 8 small gates, I'm counting 8 small gates. There's 8 small gates on this wall. 4 pictures. 6 pictures. Oh, like 4-6, where this horizontal picture of 3 men acts as a dash? That's stretching it, I think. Asking the player to figure that out's like pretty obnoxious. I think we're onto something with the gates idea. Maybe. I think the fact that they have different sizes might mean something. I just don't know what to make of the other walls. I guess... Huh. Do we have any other useful information about dates in here? So we got August, January. Nothing to do with Herbert. November's Caleb Manning and Philip White, but this is a different year. Marigold. I don't think this date matters. This is July. We already tried September 5th, I think. 0905. June 15th is when Clara Epson died. I should remember this. 0615 might be one of the safe codes. I'm just not sure which safe. And then we've got a billion other clues, of course. A lot of questions about who some of these people are. Anything, any pictures of Uncle Sinclair? Give me a date. That's a small gate, I guess, technically, right? Maybe I should go look at the orchard. There was, what, 8 trees in the orchard, I think? Or no, that was the garden. Maybe there's a date in the orchard somewhere that I missed. But then it says if we count 8 small gates. Or does it say, what does it say? 8? No, if we count small gates. So I guess 1 counts as counting. There's the Red Prince. Yeah, Mom disappeared in February. Ann Babbage. Mr. Ravane got fired. This Sideways 8. Got a stretch in this game, but the year doesn't add up. 06 is way down the line from this house. Yeah. March 18th of 87. Like, these are years ago. I don't think the library cards are going to have the answer. Eight letters penned by 8 different hands. You'll only find and read 7. There's a letter missing. That was a huge clue when I saw that. The west and east levers are operational. You know, in the secret garden, we pointed everything west and cracked open a lever. I wonder if we should have tried pointing everything east too, or if there's something else we can build on the east wing that acts as another lever. Yeah, the broken lever only works in the greenhouse. So there should be 2 more levers. We know the west one is presumably the secret garden. I don't know what the east one would be. But we might check buildings that only go in the east wing and see if there's some kind of puzzle hidden in one that might give us access to another lever. Flight of the Queen, March of the Count, Fall of the Lord, Passing of the Barons, Herrings of the Major. What is GRE? Is that a title? Or drafting strategy. There's little gates in here. I guess 6 plus 2 gets me 8. And this has the word November quite prominently. Maybe all, but we know that one of the dates was in December, the other one was in March, so November 7th. Could be an important date. Where was this? In the drafting studio? Is there a safe in the drafting studio that I missed somehow? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 gates here in November. Then we got this weird chessboard that we don't know what to do with. I wonder, this is the study. I wonder if I don't think I built this here. This is way too low ranked. Well, I guess it's in rank 8, so it would actually be pretty high up. I'd like to get back to the study and see if this chess piece moved and if there's a queen in the room somewhere. I should try and prioritize building the study. The only way to get 8 dates off of 4 walls is 2 years per wall, left and right facing. Yeah. Haven't been back to the clock tower since we built it. There may be something more there. Southward, I see a swan. Ashen like sands of the shore. Carried by westerly winds. Rogue like the moon of the north. Eastward, I see a crow. Dark are the days coming forth. By the way, this is the number 4. This is misspelled in terms of the original intention of come forth. I never noticed that. But there should be no U here. Swan, shore, winds, north, crow, forth. Sacred, southward, ashen, carried, rogue, eastward, dark. And then this symbol. I don't know what to make of that. North of the antechamber, secret door and tomb. Doesn't exist. Grotto. The hell is the grotto? Why did he draw a fish here? Clara and Simon. This is Grandma and Grandpa. No dates here. The tomb. The underground. Her ladyship's chamber. Does it never end? Was this her father? I can't remember. I need to start building like profiles of people, I think. Don't know who this is either. Maybe her mother? Her ladyship's diary is locked. We've never found the diary key. Mr. Nogula. Everything's censored. November 5th. So yeah, he died in November. I think he died on November 5th. Our first day in the mansion was November 7th. There's Marion with her husband. I can't remember our father's name. I'm not sure it's ever been revealed, or I might be missing something, but I'm not sure we ever learned our father's name. And there's Simon Jones. So this guy was from outside the family and married in and produced us. Made me change the ending. 1128 we already used to open the orchard. April 10th? Seven two. April 10th, July 2nd. I'm just put some random dates in. April 10th? No. July 2nd? No. 1128 was the code to the orchard, right? I feel like it's gotta be 11. Maybe I just brute force this. It's gotta be 11 November, because that's this is the major clue associated with this room is the picture of Uncle Herbert. So what is it gonna be? 1101. 1102. 11:03, 11:04, 11:05, 11:06, 11:07, 11:08, 11:09, 11:10, 11:11, 11:12, 11:13, 11:14, 11:15, 11:16, 11:17, 11:18, 11:19, 11/20th, November 21, 22, November 23, November 24, November 25, November 26th, November 27th, November 28th, November 29th, November 30th. I don't think there's a 31st of November, but I'll put that number in. So it's not November at all? What the fuck is how this puzzle is? What is this puzzle? Queen is in the room in that picture on the floor, top right. Was it in the picture, or you mean you know that from your game, your playthrough? If we count small gates, 8 dates crack 8 safes. So how is this not November? Small gates. All right, there's no small gates on here, so maybe this one doesn't count at all. And then small gates here is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so there's 7, and then I believe we've counted before. There's 7, 4, and 8. Yeah, there's 4 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So those are the numbers we have: 7, 4, and 8, and 0. How do we turn those into a date? How would we? 7, 4, and 8. Like 7 and 4 makes 11, and 8 is. But we already tried all the dates in November, so let me hit clear. I don't know if you need to hit clear after inputting a wrong code, but 11:08 we already tried. Doesn't work. Break it into umbrella and women. Why? Like, okay, I need there to be a reason to do it. It can't just be try random things, try random combinations of paintings and hope you get lucky. The game's design is not that arbitrary. There should be a clue. There should be a way to deduce the correct solution. It can't just be like I feel shitty just for having tried to brute force November. There has to be an articulable reason for you to try something. Different direction facing, but then how do I? Okay, so small gates left being what, the month, and then small gates right being the day, and we add them all together. I guess we could try that. So small gates left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 3. That's 4. So that already gets us to 13, which is not going to do it for a month. I can't understand why, like, Uncle Herbert, the month associated with you is November. There's nothing else that would tell me anything about a month. Like, maybe the number is right for the days. All right, maybe I just brute force the month then. Did I already try that? We know that this is what? It's, we said 7, 4, and 8. So it's 19. It's 11 plus 8 is 19. Did we try all the months? I'm assuming it's a 4-digit code. 0119. 0219. 0319. 0419. 0519. 0619. 0719. 0819. 0919. October 19th. December 19th. Yeah, none of that works. This room wants to generate 8 dates total, so how does it ever make 1225? Okay, so there's a new viewer in the chat who said hello. I have no idea how to pronounce your name. I cannot read the Cyrillic. So I'll just call you C, I guess. Welcome to the channel, and glad you've caught up. Today's run was trash. I ran out of steps real early and didn't get anything I wanted, so I'm trying to solve this stupid drafting room puzzle, but nothing is working. It doesn't make any sense. There's not enough. There's like, they need to give you an actual clue. We think this should be an F and this should be an E, and this is probably an A. I don't see, it couldn't be Geitz, Goots, Goats. None of that works. It has to be an A. So if we count small gates, I don't understand. I don't understand if we count. Like, count small gates, 8 dates, crack 8 safes. I'm tempted to just start brute forcing this starting from January 1st. Like, give me something to work with, goddammit. Does he have a gate? No, he doesn't have a gate. Am I counting wrong? Like, she counts as 1, right? The guy with the wide stride is not a small gate. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 small gates. This one has 4 small gates. This one has 8. So if we count small gates, it doesn't say like 8 small gates. Maybe this is a weird, if we count small gates 8, like maybe it's like a Yoda way of talking. Like, count small gates 8 we do. You know what I mean? And then this is separate dates, crack 8 safes. This is the wall that has 8 small gates. The total small gates is 7 plus 4, which is 11, plus 8 is 19. So we got 0, 7, 4, 8. In terms of small gates. If we count small gates 8, then it's something to do with this wall. You were asking about east lever for antechamber. No hints if you know the answer. No hints if you know the answer. Thank you very much. I know it's tough to watch somebody struggle when you know the answer, but it'll ruin the game for me if people just hand me stuff. It's why I don't look up the answers in the wiki. It's why I could beat this game in a couple of hours if I just look well, no, with the RNG, that's not true. But like, I could easily look up the answers for myself. I don't need to be told them. I don't need to be given them. I want to try and figure it out on my own. This puzzle is killing me though. What am I missing? I have the clue they've given me here, and it still doesn't make any sense to me. We tried every single, I thought the month might be November because of the heavy focus on Herbert in this room. But I tried to brute force it. I got frustrated and fed up, and I tried to brute force every single date in November. None of it worked. So how do I get the month? 19 doesn't work either, because I tried every single month combination of 19, and that didn't work. So like, what are the small gates supposed to be? I feel like I found something when we noticed that some of them have small strides or steps. I thought that tied in here, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe it has nothing to do with this because gait is spelled G-A-I-T. I thought maybe it was like one of those, it's close, but it's not quite, and you have to make the leap kind of a deals, but maybe it has nothing to do with that. The 8 wall is 7 umbrella, 1 woman. So what, you're saying July 1st? No, July 1st doesn't work. The 8 wall is 7 umbrella, 1 woman, which generates 2 of the 8 needed numbers. No, but 7 and 1 is not 7 and 1 is not part of a date unless you mean 17. And then how do I get the month still? It should be a 4-digit date representing a day and a month. That's what works on the other safes. We have 12/25 and March 3rd. Both of those worked. Plus today's date on the shelter safe. So something about this stupid painting room should give me a date. It's apparently not in November because I brute forced and tried every single date in November and that didn't work. So where am I getting a month and a day from? And why is there this wall with literally nothing on it? Gorilla Wolf says isolate all umbrellas and women. Why? Why would I do that? That doesn't make any sense. That's totally arbitrary. There's no clue that tells me to do that. There's no reason to do that. Like, if you stretch and assume that the misspelling here is an acceptable intentional on the part of the developer, then at least you can look at their gaits. Like, we've been assuming gaits mean something because he's got a long stride or a long gait. The horse has a big gait. And then some of them, like the women and the guys with who are using the umbrellas with walking stick, they have the narrow one. So at least that is kind of somehow discernible. But there's no reason to separate men and women or children and animals. There's like nothing that tells me to do that. There's no hint that that's relevant at all. So why would I ever do that? I can't believe how obtuse this puzzle is. I've probably spent 4.5 or 5 hours streaming myself trying to solve this fucking puzzle without cheating. And it's like, can't you give me something else? You gotta give me more than just, it's a date, have fun with all these pictures. I mean, the gate thing might be a clue, and I might be completely on a red herring here. What else can we do? Like, I would have thought it was November because it has something to do with Herbert. I don't know when his birthday is, but we know a lot about his death in November. But I've just brute forced every single November month or day, and that doesn't work. I'm assuming it has to be a 4-digit, 2 for the month, 2 for the day, because that's how the other 2 safes worked. Like March 3rd was 0303 or 0303. You think the triples are dashes? But then why is the horse in that? Like, and then, so what is this? What is this? I don't think they're dashes. I think it's just the positioning of the door. I mean, maybe. So then it's what? 04, 06? We tried that already, didn't we? You suggested that before. Yeah, April 6th doesn't work. 04, 03. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 6. 6, 6, and 4, 3. Nope, those don't work. I thought at one point it might have something to do with the borders, but it's too hard to get the details on the borders. The lighting in here is too poor, and you can't see closely enough to the ones high up. Counting umbrellas before and after dashes makes 2 dates per wall. Yeah, but then how would you ever pick? And what is this wall about? All right, so small gates on the... But then this doesn't do anything either. If this is just a dash, like a separator between the left and right portions of this wall, that doesn't make any sense. Like, so if you say that's a separator, right? If you say that's a separator, because there's 8 on this wall, so there's 8 small gates on this wall, so maybe this is relevant. Then small gates are 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. So like February 3rd, 0, 2, 0, 3. No, that doesn't work. If you just randomly count umbrellas for no particular reason, then it's 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. So March 4th. No, that doesn't work. Unsurprised. Let me re-look at the room. Try to see it with fresh eyes. We've got 2 chandeliers with 8 candles each, it looks like. We've got the big panes of glass. We've got the candelabra, one of which was used to reveal the safe. We've got the easel, the chair he was sitting on for the artist, whoever sketched this. We've got our clue to the room letter from the major clue. More candelabra. We got the pawn in there. Like, there's nothing else in here for how to solve this. And the big clue we've spent forever working on doesn't feel like it's helping me very much. This wall in particular confuses me. The fact that there's this prominent picture of this one sketch, which is then repeated throughout the room, is so confusing to me. It feels like it has to be relevant, especially because when you enter the room and you look at Herbert's portrait, this is behind it. Instead of being up on the wall, there's that guy. He's completely alone by himself. He's got a big stride. The clue talks about small gates. Maybe big gates matters? Maybe we count big gates instead of small gates. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or I guess that's 1. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 8. Then we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 8, 8. Those are large gates. 1, 8, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 8, 8, 5. 1885. What happens if you add all that together? You get what? 16 plus 6 is 24. I'm tempted to just, like, honestly, it would take me less time to sit here and brute force this probably than to figure it out. It would be shameful, but I'm pretty fed up with this puzzle. I don't feel like they've given me enough to go on. I don't feel like they've told me enough. And maybe there's a room that I need to get into that would give me more context, that would shed light on this, that would make me go, oh, that's what they mean. But because their RNG is such a piece of shit, what's the chances that I find it anytime soon? 0. Maybe 16 streams from now, like a month and a half of playing this game, maybe I would finally get the clue that lets me help solve this. Or maybe it doesn't exist. Maybe they think they're being cute and clever and they've already given me everything I need and I'm just not seeing it. But like, I don't know. This puzzle from the very first day has been so impossible. Like, what is the month? What is the day? What is the date that solves this? How am I supposed to figure this out? I've done so many attempts. I've tried so many things in this room. Oh my God. I've tried almost everything I could think of. I don't know what else to do with this puzzle. I feel like this one's unfair. I feel like they're just being obnoxious with this one. I've done what you told me to do. I counted the small gates. They did not give me a way to crack the safe. Zero. What was it? It was 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, it's 0, 7, 4, and 8. I mean, zero, 7, I guess could be July, and then 4 and 8 would be what, 12? 7, 12? Nope. Surprise, surprise, that doesn't work. 0, 7. Maybe this being 0 is important. Maybe that's why that's all by itself. 7, 4, and 8. Zero, 7, 4, 8. That's not a date, though. That better not work. Hello, Alan. Welcome back to the channel. Well, challenge is accurate as well. I've been streaming from the drawing room or the drafting room for almost 45 minutes trying to solve this thing. We think it has something. We think we might have realized something with the clue. I don't know if this is a red herring or not, but there's talk of count small gates, and then I did notice that like some of the indicators, the left, right, like the length of their stride or their step, could be referred to as a gate. So I've been trying to count small gates that way, but it doesn't get me to a date. So there's 4 small gates on this wall. There's the woman. There's the man with the umbrella walking stick up there. This is a wide gate, you can see here, and then this is a small gate. So like that guy is a small gate. The lady is a small gate. So that's 2 plus 3 is 5, and then 6, 7. Everything else is wide. Maybe it's something to do with the direction. So I'm facing north, and we have 7. Then on this wall, there's 4. The lady and those 3. That's east. So 7, 4, and then 8. This wall might be relevant because it says count small gates, 8 dates, crack 8 safes. If we, I don't understand how this is if we count small gates. Maybe it just tells you if you're in a room where you can, then the date matters. But then what is the date? How am I gonna solve this? I put in every single November date and none of them worked because I thought it had to be related to Herbie. I don't want to sit here and just brute force this, but what else could I do? What else can I do in this room? What else can I see? 7, 4, 8, 0. 7, 4, 8, 0. If 8 is the month, maybe 8 is the month, August, and then 7, 4 would make 11. Like, if you just arbitrarily choose one wall to be the month. Like, if I go counterclockwise, 0, 8, 4, 7. So 8, August 11th, I guess. No, that doesn't work. And I tried, I feel like I tried every single month in November, right? Maybe I misclicked something. All right, so November 1st doesn't work. November 2nd doesn't work. November 3rd doesn't work. November 4th doesn't work. 5th. 6th. 7th. 8th. 9th. 10th doesn't work. 11th. 12th. 13th. 14th. 15th. 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, wait. 24th doesn't work. 27th. 28th. Yeah, no date in November works. So I have no idea what the month is supposed to be. Why would he have the code set to a date of his death? Yeah, I don't know any other date associated with, or any other month associated with Herbert. Except his death. I mean, the walls aren't always guaranteed to be here, or the windows aren't always guaranteed to be here, so there's no way to, like, think that we're going to see something outside. It's got to have something to do with the small gates, but I don't understand how to combine these numbers. 7, 4, 8, 0. I mean, if you add them, it gets to 19, but I've tried the 19th of every month, and that doesn't work. There's 365 possible days. I'd have to sit there and brute force it. At that point, I might as well just look it up. I might just go to the internet and cheat, but I really don't want to do that. There's got to be a way to solve this. 7, 4, 8. If we count small gates. 7, 4, 8. So we tried 8, 11. Right? We tried 8, 11. That doesn't work. If we say 4 is the month, then that leaves what? 15? So 4/15? Whoa! Why is that the answer? Why is that the answer? That doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Why is that the answer? That doesn't make any sense. Just randomly choose one wall to mean the month and guess about adding the others together? How does that make any fucking sense at all? What were they thinking with this? All right, I have to know. What is the reasoning for that to be the answer? The code is formed by the number of women and men depicted with small strides, resulting in 415. These paintings are marked by a small line underneath their feet. There are 4 women and 15 men. That's not even how I got there. Why would you do that? Why would you do it that way? Why would you just arbitrarily decide that women represent the month and men represent the date? Why would you count them separately? There's nothing that tells you to do that. There's nothing in the game that tells you to do that. You just have to guess that on your own and luck into it. And if you don't, fuck you. There's no hint. There's no clue. There's nothing that guides you in that direction. And left and right is totally pointless. This wall is totally useless. It means nothing. The picture of Herbert means nothing except to show you how to get to the safe. I can't believe that's the solution. Hey, try 8 million different things, and if you don't guess the right one with no guidance from the developer, with no clue or hint whatsoever, then fuck you. You don't get to open this safe. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Just guess it and hope you just hope you make the random choice to divide things that way, completely arbitrarily, with no guidance and no clue. Just throw shit against the wall and hope you get lucky and hope you get a message from God telling you what we were thinking. He. I hope you get it. I hope you figure it out, because we're not going to give you any information at all. No clues, no hints. Just guess. Guess and guess and guess and hope you get it. And if you don't, fuck you. Are you kidding me? I almost don't even want to read it. I lucked into it here. I didn't even get it for the reason that I'm quote unquote supposed to get it. I just randomly guessed 4 and added the other 2 walls together, which happened to get me to the right number. Oh my God. I can't believe there's nothing in the game that tells you how to... Is there another way? Is there another clue somewhere? Drawing room. How is this supposed to figure what to add and what to ignore? There isn't any indication to add only the short steps and separate the men and women, or any indication to ignore the long strides. How are you supposed to figure this out on your own? There's a big clue to which photos to count and which to ignore once you figure that out. So we were on the right track with Gates. All right, so there is a clue in the book that helps you with that. I consider this one of a number of very poorly designed puzzles in the game. A good puzzle should have a solution that is very clearly and obviously correct once you hit upon it, not an answer that is just one option out of many seemingly equally valid possible solutions. I wholeheartedly agree, Illuminable. Once I solved the painting puzzle, trying a few different ways to turn into a date. Looking specifically at the small gates, the only two solutions you can try to look for are the month, day, being which paintings face left, right, and which paintings are the man, woman. I don't know about that. I kind of disagree with that. All right, I'm gonna risk seeing more spoilers here, so I better turn this off. I tried to get some kind of clue without spoiling it, and I even with that, even with trying to like look at glance at a couple of pages before the stream, knowing that I might come into this room. Like, and trying to avoid getting the answer, but like maybe getting a hint. I still think this is a really poorly designed puzzle. Like, even with a little bit of help, I still got friggin' stumped by this for an hour. And when I finally lucked upon the solution, totally by chance, it still doesn't make any sense to me. Like, okay, so you have this giant clue that the player goes to all the work to get. And apparently there's another clue somewhere that explains explicitly gates equals gates to help you out there, right? So then you finally get to the point where you're like, I have the clues you've given me, and it's still not enough. There's still another layer of, hey, you know, pick the paintings where there's a particular color border, or pick the paintings where someone's wearing a hat, or pick the paintings where someone has an umbrella, or pick the paintings where someone has a penis. Like, it's just, I really don't like that at all. It's too cute and clever and arbitrary by half. Like, give me the clue and then make it so that the clue helps me solve the puzzle. You didn't do that. You got me to the point where the clue gives me 15 different, like, well, technically infinite different ways to try to solve it. And that's not good enough. That's not good enough. I don't know about this game. I don't know if I can keep playing this. It's so... There are so many... When things go well in the game, it's fantastic. But there are so many things where the developer was just a heartless, cruel jerk. And the game just hurts your feelings. Men left would be one group, women left, men... Yeah, there's like so many different ways you could divide this up, and you just have to guess. It's literally guess until you get it right without being sure if you're right, if you're even on the right track. Like, it would be one thing if you could get part of the way to the solution and get some confirmation, but you can't. It's like, okay, you get to a certain point and then you just have to guess, and you have to persist and keep guessing and hope you guess the right thing. I don't know. I don't like that at all. That's very disappointing. I guess we should read this letter. For some reason, the word 6 is written instead of the number. And we have a letter from Herbert to Mary. All right. Dearest Mary, I know the events of the past year have catapulted you into a world you may not have been ready for. It's cruel the way time rips through our lives, leaving them barren and fruitless like wind-seared plains. Throughout this all, I know your principal concern has always been Simon. You didn't need to confide in me yesterday for me to realize that fact. Everyone who knows you understands this. I will take full responsibility to ensure that regardless of how your current project pans out, Simon is shielded from any fallout and, God forbid, repercussions. A child should never suffer the iniquity of their parents. I, of course, write you all this in the hope that I can set your mind at peace when imagining the worst-case scenarios, not because I think such an outcome is likely. No, Mary, I have few apprehensions and fewer fears. Assuming everything goes according to plan, you should be reunited with Simon again before his 10th birthday. And while 2 years might seem like an eternity to a mother, I've always heard the days pass by more quickly in the East. So as we suspected, they smuggled her out of the country for some reason. And she went east. As for me and you, I've already come to terms that our meeting yesterday was very likely our last. I'm too old and too stubborn to ever leave this place. I'm too attached to the home our family has built up, room by room. Yes, I have a strong premonition I will be buried in red soil under red flags. A compromise I know you yourself would never accept. It's been a joy watching you grow up and getting to know you. Your mother and I spoke of little else during your school days. I know she'd feel the same bittersweet pride I feel now to see you following your father's footsteps and making the same sacrifices he did. Farewell, my marigold. We may yet meet again, your Uncle Herbert. So we got 4. I think that puzzle is unfair and very poorly designed. I think that's a bad puzzle. I think that's a bad puzzle. What do I have? 4 steps left? I'm not doing anything else today. That's it for today. It really chaps my ass that there's no clue to suggest to divide it by men and women. It's just, hope you guess it. If you don't guess it, then fuck you. You don't get to solve this puzzle. That is so... That's just bad puzzle design. Or bad clue design, I guess. You need to, if you're gonna have a puzzle that dense, you need to give an actual clue. Man. The highs and lows in this game are so opposite. When it's good, it's fantastic. But when it's like this, it's so... I hate it. I want to uninstall it and never touch it again right now. Ugh. All right, I can't play this anymore today. I don't know what to do. I see the incredible game underneath. I've had days where it was like, wow, this is incredible. This is amazing. I love this. I see what they were going for, but I can't believe some of the choices they made are so bad. The frustration is so strong and so overwhelming. It's killing my enjoyment of this game. I don't know if I can even finish it. It's too many streams of me bitching and moaning. It's not good content because I'm just in such a bad emotional place. Such a bad like anger level when I play this game. I can't. Is this what I signed up for as a YouTuber? Is this what I signed up for with this game? Like, I don't... That puzzle, I don't think I could have ever solved if I hadn't lucked into it by complete chance and accident. And that feels so bad. It just feels terrible. I don't know, man. That plus the RNG plus not being allowed to do what you want to do, like, I bet a lot of people just quit this game in frustration and never play it. And it's such a shame, and the developers should be ashamed of themselves. Like, how can you make a game that has such good stuff in it and lock it behind these puzzles and mechanics that make it impossible for the player to reach unless they grind and grind and grind and grind and get lucky? Like, if you have to rely on luck to enjoy the game, it's a bad game design. Because you're saying some people are going to have a fantastic, amazing time with this game, and some people are going to get shit on. I don't know. I don't know about this. I feel like I'd have a lot more fun and enjoy Clair Obscur Expedition 33 way more than this. This got like these amazing reviews. It was Game of the Year stuff. I don't know how people, like the people who gave it these incredible reviews must have just had better luck than me. Or they must have like used the wiki to solve stuff that was frustrating them. They must have cheated, because to me, like the good is great, but it's locked behind so much bad that I don't know if I can keep playing. That's going to be it for this time. Gorilla Wolf, Alan Wang, and C, thanks for stopping by. Gorilla Wolf, thanks for sticking through the entire playthrough, the entire stream there. That was a long one, and it was pretty rough. A lot of these have been pretty rough because the game is so obnoxious with its unfairness. I think it's unfair. I really think it's unfair. It doesn't. The puzzle and the RNG, the puzzle today and the RNG have the same problem. You can't solve it with intellect. You have to solve it with luck. And that is not fun or enjoyable for me. That is frustrating and painful and horrible. And I hate it. I don't know if I can continue the playthrough. I don't know if a game that forces you to rely on luck to solve puzzles is one that I can play. I just don't know. That's going to have to be it for this time. Regardless of what we stream next time, I hope to see you guys there. I hope it's a better day. I hope it's a better experience. I don't know if I can keep playing this. I just don't know. Maybe I just have to cheat. Even if you cheat, you can't even cheat because you can't, like, you can look up puzzle solutions, sure. But then that takes all the enjoyment out of the game. And you still, even if you look everything up, you still are at the mercy of the RNG. You still have to wait for puzzles to come out the right way. Or rooms, drafting rooms, whatever. I don't know about this game. I got to stop ranting now and go away and go do something else. So thanks again for watching. Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye.